Hi, this is Ruth with Ruth and Ben, and today we are talking about pumping. If you are feeding your baby formula, breast milk, doesn't matter how, a fed baby is a happy baby, whichever way you go. But if you are planning to breastfeed, hopefully this helps you. This was an area that I had a lot of anxiety and questions about beforehand, so hopefully this helps you. Here's some tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way. So first, if you are planning to pump, check with your insurance company. That's a great saver because my insurance company covered a large portion of the pumping machine. Of course, it depends on which one you choose, whether they cover all of it or some of it in your plan. So first check them out. And then I recommend that you check all of the sites if they give you more than one company or website to go to compare them, because I found that they weren't all the same. Some had different offerings and some the pricing was different if you decided to upgrade. So check it out, that may save you something. Also, for me, I found one of the hardest things that I agonized over before getting one was which one to get. There's so many options. How do you know what you need ahead of time? So I recommend taking a moment to think about what your needs might be. Are you planning to pump at home near an outlet, or are you planning to be out and about and maybe not near power, in which case a pump that allows you to not be plugged in would be the best bet. Some of them are louder than others, and then if you want a hands-free set, that's different than one where you kind of need to hold it. So I got, if you can see here, this is the Spectra S1. This one I got because I did not need to be plugged in. It is battery powered and is one of the quietest machines and got great reviews. So that was my choice. I did pay a little extra to upgrade because I figured I'm going to be using this quite a lot. It was worth it. But whatever works for you, they're all fairly similar. One thing to note is that it can take a couple weeks or so, depending on which model you choose, to get it. So it is recommended to purchase it in your third trimester. That way you don't have to worry about if your due date is early or late. Do you have it? Is it back ordered? All of those things. Just order ahead of time. It at least gave me peace of mind, and then I felt ready for pumping once he came. And that was the next question that I was confused by, of when do you start pumping? How do you use the machine? So in things that I saw online, it said wait at least 4 to 6 weeks. When I talked to my pediatrician, she said you can start right away. So talk to your pediatrician. You don't have to wait. It really depends on what your needs are. If you're going back to work right away, or you want someone else to help you with feeding, then you can start pumping quickly. If you're not in as big of a rush and you're home, maybe you don't want to start pumping right away. One of the things that pumping does help with is to build up your supply, because the more you pump and breastfeed, the more milk your body produces, thinking that you need more. So if you are looking to cover that, make sure that you start pumping sooner then. And also you can put your milk in the freezer. There's special freezer bags, so that way it will last longer if you want to start building up a supply. That's what I'm doing for when I go back, and that way I'll have some already ready. One of the things I didn't think about beforehand were which bottles I might need or want. I registered for a bunch of different bottles, not thinking about them and not knowing what the baby would like, since he wasn't born yet. So I have a bunch of different ones. There are some that come with the pump. Here you can see the only thing, I don't know if you can tell behind here, is that the nipple opening is larger on these bottles that came with the pump, and we have to be careful that he doesn't swallow too much and then choke. So we have to monitor him more carefully when we're feeding with these bottles, but that means that they'll be better as he gets older, when he's able to handle it a little better. I also purchased some of the nano baby ones, and it looks kind of like a boob, and the nipple opening is a little bit smaller, so he is able to handle it a little bit better. And when I purchased those bottles, it actually came with a little attachment, you can see, that goes with the pump. So it works with the pump instead of having to pump into one bottle and then switch to the other. but you can do that as well if you don't have the attachment. Just something to think about that it didn't even occur to me when I was purchasing the bottles, and thank goodness it had it, because then it worked perfectly. Pumping is a lot harder than I expected. I knew it would be work, but I didn't think about how much time it would take of sitting on top of breastfeeding during the day. So for sometimes I'll pump on one side while he's feeding on the other, just for time. Other times I'll do it completely separately if he's sleeping and quiet, but it is hard. That's the hardest thing for me, was just juggling all of that and finding time to pump, because you're supposed to pump multiple times a day, every couple hours, to help with your supply. And for me, that's not always possible, just because our son likes to eat a lot, and so it can be challenging to fit all of that in. So something to think about for me. That was a big shock that I had not anticipated how much it would take. With all of the sitting, one of the things that I found really helpful was having everything organized. So I have a basket that has all of the pumping items in it. That way, after I wash it, I put it all in one spot. I know where it is. It's easy when I need to pump. And also having snacks and water and everything prepared, because you will spend a lot of time sitting. So it's nice to have all of that laid out and organized. I felt better, and it made the sitting a little bit easier. You can watch your favorite show, read a book, whatever, be on your phone, hang out, but that's something that does take time. And the other thing that I did not expect was, or didn't think about, it makes sense, is how much washing you have to do. Since you're going through bottles and filling them up either for the baby to use right away, or to use if it's in the fridge the next couple days, or just to put in the freezer when you fill it up and pour it into a freezer bag, you have to wash all of that. And the pump needs to be washed every time. So there's a lot of washing. Thankfully, my husband is amazing. Ben does a lot of washing to help me out, since I'm sitting a lot between feeding, but that's something just to keep in mind, that be prepared. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and please comment below if you have tried any of the lactation goodies, cookies, brownies, drinks, anything. I haven't tried them yet. I'm really curious if they've worked for you, and if they have, put which ones you've tried or what has not worked. Be curious to hear from you. Thanks.